Act 2, Scene 2 opens with Lady Macbeth on her own, and she's quite excited. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Remember, her job was to taint the possets, the bedtime drink of the chamberlains, and maybe she's had a swig of it herself. Regardless, the action has made her bold. Hark, peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drug their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are hearing noises here, and just as if you were sneaking around, you might be a little bit more aware of the noises around you. You don't want to get caught. They're pretty high strung. They're high anxiety. Who's there? What ho? Lady Macbeth, alack, I'm afraid they have waked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. So that's pretty unique, because she had said Macbeth lacks what he needs to do such a murder, but she was fully capable. She had asked the spirits to unsex her now. She was full of direst cruelty, and she told Macbeth, leave everything to me. But now we see that she couldn't do it. The king looked like her father as he slept. She had some sort of misgiving. She chickened out a little, but she did all that she had to do. She drugged the chamberlain. She laid daggers ready. So we can assume here that Macbeth is doing the deed. And he does come in, having said so. My husband, I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise? I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak? When, now, as a descendant? Aye. Hark, who lies in the second chamber? Donalbain. This is a sorry sight. And he holds up those bloody hands. We're going to have things that you're going to be writing down here. Some lines are quite important, just to give you some warning. Lady Macbeth disagrees that it's a sorry sight. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. Macbeth has to now tell her about what he imagined or he thinks that he heard. There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried, Murder! That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep. There are two lodged together. One cried, God bless us, and Amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening with fear, I could not say Amen when they did say God bless us. Consider it not so deeply. But wherefore could not I pronounce Amen? I had most need of blessing, and Amen stuck in my throat. Remember, wherefore meaning why. He's questioning why he couldn't say that word, that word about believing, that prayer word. Already he's feeling perhaps a little guilty. These deeds must not be thought of after these ways, so it will make us mad. Methought I heard a voice cry, Sleep no more, Macbeth doth murder, sleep. The innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast. And sleep is all of those things. It does make you feel better. It does rest the mind. If you're not feeling well, you wake up generally feeling better. It is the nourisher. We all need sleep in order to continue life the next day. And he heard something cry, Sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. What do you mean? Still it cried, Sleep no more to all the house. Glamis has murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go get some water and wash the filthy witness from your hands. And then she notices his hands and what's in them. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. Remember, that was part of the plan, that the chamberlains would have blood on them. That was to indicate their guilt in having killed the king. And here he is carrying them with him. He almost seems to be in a little bit of shock. I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not. She has seemingly regained her courage, and she's had quite enough of him appearing to have no courage. Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the groom withal, for it must seem their guilt. And she does go to do so. I want to draw your attention that some water was all it's going to take to wash this filthy witness from your hand. That's going to come up again in a moment. There's some knocking, by the way, I want to draw your attention to. Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? And now he's looking down at these hands, and you're going to see something juxtaposed in a moment. What hands are here? Ha, they pluck out mine eyes with all great Neptune's ocean. I'm going to repeat that. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red. So he's just asking, would all great Neptune's ocean wash the blood clean from his hands? All the water in the oceans could not wash the blood off his hands. As a matter of fact, his bloody hands would turn the entire ocean red. So this must be indicating the magnitude of the guilt that he is feeling. But listen to what Lady Macbeth then says. She comes back, proudly showing him her hands, which are now bloody. My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. Lily-livered, white heart, all indicating that someone is cowardly. Now we're hearing these knocks at the door at the same time, the main entry to the castle. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. So here he is thinking that there's no water in all the oceans that can clean him of the blood. And she just says so nonchalantly, a little water is all they need to wash their hands and clear them up of this deed. So look how juxtaposed their guilt is at this point. That's going to come in for a discussion point later on in the play. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. So we can't be walking around the middle of the night fully clothed and certainly full of blood. We've got to go look like we've been sleeping. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts. To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Dunking, with your knocking. I would thou couldst. So there's another indication of guilt. He first asks if that knocking would indeed wake the dead, being Duncan, and now he wishes that indeed it could. So he's got some guilt going on here.